Have you gotten your first kiss yet or no?
So, short answer is no. Long answer is no. I was able to touch her shoulders.
Shoulder action, y'all.
Get a room.
Hey guys, welcome to the Geek Dump. Today we're talking Married at First Sight, episodes 9 through 12.
Johnny loves his hentai.
That's how he learned about the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they're very educational, you know.
I don't think he learned enough.
Yeah, well. You know, Johnny's weird because at first, not because of that, but like he was
And because of that.
he was a very touchy-feely and like talked about family hugging and stuff, but he's not initiating too much stuff.
He wants to be romanced, man. He wants her to come home with flowers for him and give him a back rub and all that good stuff.
It's all about Johnny.
Wants?
I know, right?
Yeah, what about
It
what Bao
It doesn't matter what Bao wants.
Doesn't
The hell what
Bao
wants.
don't matter.
Right? It doesn't matter.
Do
I
a
got
lot about it anyway,
my
right?
cookies
According to
here
Johnny.
That's right.
in honor of Gil.
That's
so.
right. Yeah.
And we have
chocolate chip.
macaroons
Yeah,
in
I'm hot.
honor of Myrla.
Myrla. Bougie. What kind of cookies are those?
We got vanilla and coffee.
Nah, no thanks.
Vanilla and
No
coffee.
thanks.
All right.
I'm gonna
And
try one
also,
each.
this is a sad series of episodes because we lose Baxter.
Yeah, poor Baxter,
Yeah.
man. That sucked. I felt really bad for Brett. I was like, damn, that's, man.
Yeah, and you know, Baxter's sitting there doing parkour like a week earlier, and now
Died
gone.
of severe kidney failure or whatever
I
it was.
did have
Damn.
to look it up because, like, in the episode before he passed away, Ryan was giving him blueberries, and she's like, "Is it okay to give blueberries to dogs?" And I was like, "Oh, did they show that scene for a reason?" I had to look it up, but it is okay.
Ryan
to give blueberries
poisoned
to
Baxter.
dogs. You can give blueberries to dogs; it's actually very good for them, but maybe not for Baxter. I don't know.
Nah,
yeah, I
that
feel
poor guy,
bad
man.
for Brett. I mean, that sucks, especially going through it during these times and stuff.
Oh,
Being
yeah.
filmed during that, that's
Mhm.
tough.
Trying to keep her stuff together. It's like, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
But-
Let's get into these relationships. Let's start with Bao and Johnny.
Well, I think we got to problem number one. Johnny likes hentai, right?
Johnny didn't
well-
know what he wanted. Johnny keeps moving the bar.
Bao thought it was cute.
No, she did think it was cute. She's like, oh, I got a super nerdy husband, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then evidently I got to romance my husband.
Bao is like, I don't know how Bao reacts to this because like he changes the bar
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Johnny
like,
is an idiot. Right?
and he
I
doesn't
mean, he's
understand
stupid.
why they keep getting in these arguments. I'm like, it's you.
Yeah, right,
You
exactly.
keep, like
Yeah.
he's like, I thought we were just gonna have a conversation. I was like, you were.
Right.
And then you got all angry.
And then you left. You fucking said, fuck it, I'm out of here.
And then he's
Yeah.
like holding on to some excuses, like especially about the cooking. She says like, I cook gourmet meals, and it's like, the heck you do. That was both
Cooked
of us.
one.
Yeah.
But we see her trying, and she is involved in doing some cooking.
Yeah,
So
she had all that meal prep stuff getting together whenever he went to go visit his family. I mean, she's definitely doing stuff.
And then when she brings up that she's like got this high, like intense job, you know, like
Mhm.
I don't have like all this free time. I'm not like a stay-at-home wife kind of thing. He's like, she's always playing the victim card.
Yeah.
Even though watching the show, I'm like, do these guys ever work? Like, because they're waking up making breakfast in the morning, and it's bright and sunny outside, and I'm like, damn, like what time these fools gonna be at work? It's like,
I do say like you know, whenever Bao does get excited, she does do the little kitty voice, and I'm
yeah.
like, Johnny don't like that.
and she did it again, you know.
Yeah.
She's like, he's like, Bao just doesn't get it.
Because she's like, touch me more.
Then
He didn't like that.
touch me more.
Yeah, and
touch
it's,
me
I get
more.
why she's doing it because she's trying to be cute. Like, how else is she supposed to say it?
Exactly.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I think Johnny's living in a fantasy world, almost like, you know, the pastor says, like, you know, you're waiting for this like perfect woman, and
They
it's,
don't
like,
exist.
it's unrealistic.
Yeah, they
I mean,
never
he
find
says
it.
she's 97%. Like, you think you're getting 100%? Who are you to get 100%?
Right, yeah,
like,
exactly.
What is she getting? I doubt she's getting 100% out of this.
Yeah,
Well,
unfortunately, no.
evidently, her 100% is his 150%, though.
That's true. That is true. I feel bad for
That dude said that. I was like, huh? I was like, get the hell out of here, man.
You know, and I initially liked Johnny, but it's not
Oh,
looking
yeah.
too good for him
No,
with the
Johnny's
way
a
he's acting
friggin'
during all
douchebag.
this stuff.
I'm over that guy. I'm over him.
Johnny was cool at first, and now she's like, dude, you're an idiot.
I found out
and
how
then
Bao keeps
Bao
dealing
was
with it.
kind of, I wasn't too into her, especially during the wedding stuff, because she was saying about, oh, he's really into sports and this, but she's
not what I wanted.
She's being really cool during this
Bao
process.
I
was
mean,
very
he
cool.
stormed out on her like in anger and went to and then he starts cursing and she's doing her little private interview and then there's all this cursing from the room
Yeah.
and she looks like she's got chills. She's like, what is happening? And then he comes out and he's like, just we're not compatible. And she's holding his arm and
really
she's like,
cool,
I'm
but-
still here. I'm still here. I'm holding on to you. I am
yeah.
still here. And I'm like, run.
Yeah,
run.
and you know, they have the family get together and she's prepping for the Mandarin, learning people's names and
Oh,
some
yeah.
sayings, and then he's like, I think it's best if you don't come.
Yeah. You know, then the family's like, hey, where's Bao? And he's like, oh, we're just not on the same page. And then it's funny, he started explaining how he wants to be romance. He wants like the high school love, and his uncle's like, hey, sorry to tell you, man, you ain't in high school anymore. I hope you realize that. I was like, you know, and then his aunt's even like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Like, you got a good girl here. She seems to be treating you well. Everything's going on, and you're just hung up on this stupid stuff, you know?
But she's only 97%.
Johnny's self-sabotaging, I don't know why. And these guys are like, you know,
Crazy.
older, so you got to get your
35,
crap
man.
together, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Especially if you want kids and stuff.
And
You're
then-
already behind the power curve on this.
And then they said, well, what do you think she's doing now? She's probably just laying in
Well-
bed texting, and she's meal prepping
meal
for you.
prepping,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be prepping after that.
Hell no.
I'll tell you what.
Well, then the funny thing is, he's like, she doesn't do anything romantic. She cooks and does laundry, and she thinks that's like what, you know, oh, I do this stuff for you. He's like, I can do my own laundry. It's be like, bro, didn't she set up the whole freaking bar night at the
I
house for you?
know.
She set up freaking bar games, got you your fried chicken, your beer.
His
and,
3 favorite
Oh
things.
yeah, and he was like, and you were in like, oh, this is so great, and then all of a sudden that just didn't happen. I
And
guess,
what's
right?
Johnny doing for her?
Right, exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like they were talking about how their sexual interactions, and he was like it was fireworks.
That was
It was
great.
like great.
To the point where, you know, they're playing their little bar games. He's like, all right, let's make a bet here. If I win, we do what I want to do in the bedroom. And if you win, then we'll do what you want to do. And she's like, all right, cool. So at that point, it's like, Johnny lied. Johnny wants his anal.
Jeez, man.
That's what I'm thinking. He's going to get in that bedroom. He'll be like, hey, remember how I told you I didn't like the anal? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's very vanilla, like he said. And maybe Bao is trying to spice it up
Yeah, maybe.
because she's trying to romance him, and he's like, well, let's go back to
What?
vanilla.
Yeah, and then Bao mentions her freaking, her little drawer or whatever. she's
Fun
got
drawer,
going on.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun
he-
Happy drawer.
And then he was like, oh, you want to bring out some toys? Go ahead, right? So.
Yeah, I know what she's going to bring out. Strap on. And then he,
The anal, I told you, man.
Oh no, this is
Johnny wants it, not her. Though.
Yeah,
oh my
that's
goodness.
what it seems like the way he's acting. He's acting like the woman in the relationship for sure, man.
Oh my goodness.
Wants to be romanced by his wife. It's like, come on, man.
That's macaroon.
That's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this couple?
They ain't gonna make it.
No, I mean, it's all Johnny's fault.
Yeah, he don't want to make it.
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately.
gonna try
If Johnny would get his crap together, they'd be a great couple, I think. Like, I think they could be a great couple, have a good relationship, but Johnny's just an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. Especially at this point. But, I mean, there's still a lot to go.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy seeing just the way he acts and how childish he is, you know? It's like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Like, act like a man, you know?
Oh,
But that ain't Johnny. But that ain't Johnny.
Let's talk about Gil and Myrla.
Oh, dude, love him. Love
You
them, man. Like, but both of them,
This
right?
couple's crazy,
No,
though.
they're crazy, but in a good way together, right? You know, they're constantly joking with each other, poking at each other, having fun.
And it seems like it's building. The dog was a big issue, and now she's walking the
Oh,
dog.
Yeah.
Feeding the dog, showed her feeding him. I was like, yeah.
So, and supposedly she asked for her own dog.
At first, I thought that how slow she was going was going to be a problem, but I think it's been a very big strength in their relationship because you can see the way she talks about him. Like, even though
she
she
loves
hadn't
him, yeah.
kissed him for a long time, she was falling for him. Like, I mean, what's not to like about him?
Oh, yeah, Gil's awesome.
How do you not fall for him? Because she's older, and you're never going to find a guy as good as him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's that patient and willing to put up with all that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And
Nah,
she
man.
said she
That's
never
a rare thing.
she
That
didn't
dude's the same.
stress as much the patience as much in her wants as he has, and she's like, it turns out that's probably a good thing because I don't think anyone else
Yeah.
that doesn't have that kind of patience could deal
Well,
with it.
it's funny, like, even when she set up that romantic thing for him, right? Because he set up that romantic date at the winery for her, you know, and she loved it. She's like, oh, my God. So that night, she set up this romantic thing, and she's got the freaking candles in the hallway. He's like, oh, it's so romantic.
fire hazard.
And a fire hazard. And she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot you're a firefighter.
Now, is Gil getting everything he should be getting out of this relationship?
Aside from the actual physical aspect of it, I think he is. You know, I think
he is.
I think he is. I mean,
he doesn't have to pay for a dog walker anymore, so that's
There
good.
you go, that's right. Well, he even said she's very caring and she's compassionate, and you know he loves the way
And she does reciprocate with that candle thing and all
She
that.
tries.
Exactly.
She sets things up. She's romantic
Yeah, she
with
is.
him. Yeah, and eventually we do discover in these episodes that they do kiss.
Mm-hmm.
It
I mean, he's
just
starting to do it
apparent.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are starting to like kiss more.
That's
so
cool to see.
I think they've always been very comfortable together, and I think that's just going to grow. And
I love their conversations, how they can call each other out, but not get offended by it.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
they also really haven't had conflict because even in their disagreements, they just kind of laugh them off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, and he's now apartment shop. He's not going to renew his lease. He's all in.
And not only is he apartment shopping, but he's like keeping in mind the things that she likes,
Yeah.
right? So while he's apartment shopping, so yeah, no,
and
I mean,
she's noticing it. She's talking
Mm-hmm.
to her friends about it. Like, she acknowledges his efforts. He acknowledges her efforts.
Yeah.
They play off
Yeah.
of each other. I think they're a great couple.
She even says, like, you're more than I could have hoped for.
yeah.
yeah.
And you're everything I wanted and more, which I'm like, he's bald. You didn't want that. But that's cool to see she's moved completely past
Oh, yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, those two are together. So far, in my eyes, are like rock stars. You know, what a great freaking relationship they got going on.
Yeah.
I would never expected it, especially with the way she was and how she's slow playing this. But, you know, I thought she might just be here for the fame and the cameras. But I think she actually was hesitant, but is falling in love with Gil.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree, absolutely.
Yeah. I believe it.
You know, and then who was it, the guys? So the guys were like poking fun at Gil. Or Ryan was like, when they were all in the group talking about it, and Gil's like, "Yeah, I think I'm falling in like," and it's like, and Ryan's like, "This fool's already in love."
Yeah, he's on the road to love. He ain't on the road.
He's already in love.
He's reached the destination.
But
And
I
then-
think he was serious when he said, if I don't get a kiss, I'm out. Because,
Yeah.
like, this relationship has to move forward, especially if
Yeah.
I'm going to make that kind of leap.
Yeah, if I'm looking for freaking apartments for us and stuff like that, we're moving in together. Yeah, there's got to be some physical connection.
I would again. I didn't really like at first how slow she was taking with that, but I also like that she stood her ground. She's like getting pressure from the group, from not really from him, but like obviously it's a hot topic.
Yeah. Well, even from the experts,
crew,
the experts were giving her a little bit.
experts, everything, and she's like standing her ground. Like, when I'm comfortable, I'll do it. And then I love that when she did it, he's like, "Did you mean to do that? Was
Right.
that an accident?"
Like, on purpose.
And
Now-
she did it again. She's like, "No, this was my intention." And like, it means so much more that she did that.
Myrla only gets a 5 out of 10 foot massage, though. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Did he expect to get rated higher than a 5? I mean,
right.
I mean, he was talking himself up, but she was not completely
He's like, "Girl, my
satisfied
hands are
from it.
magic." She's like, "Yeah, you better 5."
See, I love how they can kind of rag on each other, but be honest, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was a 5 out of 10. It was just
Yeah.
whatever, you know?
Right.
And you could see her open up to it too, because at first she was just kind of on her phone, kind of like, and he's just like staring at her, like, "Am I getting through to you? Like, is this working?" You know. And then she kind of puts her phone down, and she gets more into it. So like, he's breaking down her barriers.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, how can he not win you over? You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Win
think
me over.
she probably has to see, like, I'm never going to find a guy as good as this. This is a keeper for sure. You know what I mean?
Now they can put up with all my freaking bougie stuff and just all my temper tantrums.
And they seem to have gotten past the other issues from the dog to the finances and all that kind of stuff, at least for now.
She
with
still
their
don't like the dog slobber though.
Yeah, and that dog was doing.
Yeah,
that
he
dog was doing.
was slobbering. That dog was going everywhere, man.
But she's like, I need to wipe his face off. So that was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, she loves that dog now.
Yeah, because like
She
3
loves that
weeks
dog.
ago, she wasn't even going to touch the dog,
Yeah.
let alone
Uh-huh.
wipe his face
Yeah.
and go
Yeah.
take him for walks. And,
So I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I love seeing it.
No doubt, man. That right now to me, that's the best relationship on the show for sure.
and it shows how open she is too, especially like not just to Gil, but like she was so not a dog person, and like this dog has like weaseled her way. And I mean,
Just
dogs
letting
do
her
that,
hype.
you know what I mean? But to people who are not dog people, that's kind of hard. But she's obviously open to it. So
Good to see.
now she's
All
a
right,
dog person.
Zach and Michaela. This is a hot and cold relationship, much like
Yeah.
Johnny and Bao. So, I
Well,
mean,
It's just not going to work, man.
It'll work.
I mean, and the reason why, because Michaela blows up, and even if she says she's
well,
not,
she's blown up once, to be fair.
well, no, he's insinuated this happened before. Maybe we just didn't get to see it on camera. But and the fact that he is just like he holds stuff in so much and won't let go of stuff, right? And she apologized. I mean, and her apologies are sincere, right? You see this woman
I think
apologize,
so.
they're super sincere, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just not having it," you know?
Yeah, and that eventually spills over to her because she's trying, and then she gets like rejected and doesn't get reciprocated, and then she starts to shut down a little
Yeah.
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
So
Yeah, that relationship's toast, man.
I mean,
it's not gonna work.
at the end of these 4 episodes that we're talking about, they kind of come back together. But I do think there's going to be another. Next time they have a conflict,
Definitely.
it's going to.
I mean, we still haven't seen the door slamming scene. That we
yeah,
saw.
that's
know,
true,
please.
and that's going to be a big moment whenever that comes. They haven't even teased that from what I saw anymore. But
exactly.
I'm like, oh.
Every time I look at the outfits that she's wearing, I was like, "Is this it? Is this what she was wearing?"
Now
in
they
that
have the
scene?
counseling session, and Zach breaks down. You can tell he cares, and he doesn't want to hurt her, but he feels something just ain't right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't like that. Like she again, almost like Bao. She's like trying to touch, and he just like stop. Like he pulls from her and recoils. Like you're crying about this, and she's trying to be there for you. And
Yeah, the issues he has, it's like there's gonna be a problem in any relationship he has, right? That guy needs to freaking chill out a little bit, needs to be more open and not be so critical about
Yeah,
everything.
I feel like he's like Johnny, where he wants a perfect kind of
exactly,
scenario
Yeah.
here, and
He's
it's
very
like if it's
critical and
not,
everything.
he's like, nope, this ain't it. This ain't what I signed on for.
Nah,
You're not the
yeah.
woman.
No, you hit it on the head there, exactly.
Yeah, and I like how Pastor Cal's like, step one, you got to want to be with the person. If that's not there, then nothing's going to work. And then after that, everything is a compromise. Everything, you got to want to get through it together.
Yeah, exactly.
And things are going to come up, but I see that's where I question Zach and Johnny whether they really want to be with this person.
I don't think they do.
I don't either. Johnny definitely doesn't, right? I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
There's
He
I don't know
says
what the hell's wrong with
any
that guy.
other person but her.
Yeah,
And these
dude,
episodes, like-
that was messed up. Pascal's like, dude, that was just mean.
Yeah, it was. And like these episodes, normally I was on Team Zach. Now I'm kind of like steering back to Team Michaela during these couple episodes.
I'm not on team any of them.
They're
On
just
either
not-
one of those
yeah,
two dudes.
I mean,
They're
if
just
I
not
have to
gonna
pick.
make it,
right.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because I feel like she was trying, except for the salsa dancing, I'm like, that's kind of messed
Yeah,
up.
she should have got up and danced. So maybe
Yeah.
Gil caught her out on it. Gil, look, you know what? Why can you at least dance once
I
with
just
your
don't want
husband?
to.
Give it a try.
I didn't want to.
I don't think she wanted to dance with him, and she just didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think she was outside of her comfort zone.
I think in the car, the way the conversations, and especially when he's like putting these like things are going good, and he's putting a scenario.
does
Can
put
you see
down
the
on
future? He craps on it, and that really impacts Michaela.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He
Then
says
again, he
things
is
like that
being
when things are
honest.
going good.
Right.
Yeah, but
I mean, they had that.
you
they had that
can't
fun-
be so bleak about
They had
the
that,
future.
They had that fun date where they were like beating the hell out of each other in the big bubble balls and all that stuff, man.
That was cool.
And they were having a good time. And I was like, but then he goes back and he says stuff like that. It's like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, I know. It's like again, he's self-sabotaging a bit as well.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's hard to progress when you say, I don't even know if there's a
Yeah.
future for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
you're like, what? Dang.
there's no way in hell that they're going to stay married at the end of this. They're going to say no. I think both of them are going to say no.
Agreed.
Yeah, and even if they do make it, it probably won't last long. And because I think it's only a matter of time before Michaela has some kind of outburst,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what happens, and then he just shuts down, and
Yeah.
and then he's not going to have these resources and these cameras available
When you-
to have people like encourage him to work through it. I think.
You got to think about it. These people have been together for a month,
Mm-hmm.
and and at that time of that outburst, it was what 2 weeks, 3 weeks that they were together. If you're going to behave like that so early on in a relationship, if you're comfortable to show that side of you so early on in a relationship, it only gets worse from there.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And normally in that first, you're trying to be real because like you're married, but you're still getting to know this person, so you're trying to show your best side.
But she does say like, I'm already in love at some point.
Yeah,
So like,
I already love this man.
She said it multiple times.
so I mean, yeah, this couple is just. I do feel they're one incident away from blowing it up, though.
Oh, no doubt,
yeah.
no doubt. And I'm sure
And
we'll
I'm
sure we'll
waiting
see
for
that
it.
incident. I'm sure we'll get to see it. I'm sure we will get to see it.
Okay, let's move on to Brett and Ryan.
Dude, these two, man. I tell you what, dude.
I don't know what's going on
Break
with
my
them.
heart.
I don't either because it seems like they would be a great couple, but Ryan just ain't digging it, man. Ryan just cannot get into it. For
I
some
don't know
reason.
why neither one of them are showing any intimacy. Like, no one's making the move to hold the hand. No one's like putting their arm around the other person.
Well,
It stopped. Like,
something
they did
like
at
that.
first,
I think
but
they
it
insinuate
stopped.
that she's tried and he's not reciprocating. So finally, he's just kind of like at a
I
stalemate,
don't really
right?
see
So-
it, but yeah. And he's not making the moves. She's not making any moves. It's just kind of like they're going through the motions.
And he's even said, "Look, I don't know why I can't get to that physical intimacy. I don't know why I'm not feeling these butterflies yet. It just ain't happening." You know?
Yeah, and he's kind of like noting things that I think are a problem for her, but he's keeping it in because he doesn't want to offend her.
When they showed that room, and
that was a mess. I'm like, holy cow!
It's like they got 5 teenagers living in there. I was like, holy shit! Yeah, it was bad, man.
Can you imagine Jose coming across that?
Oh, dude, Jose would just like drop dead right there.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know if that's, but if you don't tell her, how is she supposed to fix it?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think that's an issue, but
I think he's checked out. Like, he knows it's not going to work, and he does like her as a person. I think they've friend zoned each other, and he likes
her.
Yeah, they like each other as people. He respects her. So why bring up anything that's going to cause an argument? This is not.
Well, but
it's not gonna work
the
for
thing
him.
is, it doesn't have to be an argument. Just telling her how you feel about it.
Right.
Like, look, hey, that mess right there, to me, that just ain't cool. You know.
yeah.
And just,
you got to let him know to try and fix it at least.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't see the point. There's nothing for her to. He's not going to be living with her, and that's. I think that's how he sees it.
I tell you right now, I don't know too many people that would be comfortable seeing that damn mess. Just for her to fix herself for the future, I'd tell her, like, hey,
he should coach her for future relationships.
That is
Let me tell you
that's
why
unacceptable.
it's not
To be
working
an
out.
adult and have a room look like that,
horrible.
unacceptable.
Like I said, it looked like 5 teenagers lived in that room together. I mean, that's how bad it was.
And they've only been there for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
like,
Yeah, I'm
dang.
surprised he's keeping it in, actually.
No kidding. Man, it was
But
bad.
and
it sucks too because I think if he would give it a try and if they I think they could be a great couple. I really do. You know?
I think there's more to the story though. I actually think they disagree on like major issues that aren't really being
Probably so.
discussed on camera and stuff. Like maybe the
I think
the
that was an
political
issue.
stuff kind of is coming back. You know, not as far as like ones on this side, but like how they feel about certain issues that are tied to that probably.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But
And, and especially with him too, because he's very set in his ways. He's very set in the things he likes and all that. And I think, and he keeps talking about how she's, been, certain ways about certain things, but we really haven't seen it on camera. So I think you're right. There's probably still a lot of stuff they're just not showing us.
and I'm really rooting for this couple, but they keep disappointing me.
Yeah, that's
Not
sad.
making any progress. So, and I don't know where to like point the finger, but like when he's sitting down on a chair, we're like, why can't she just come and like sit on him, put her arm around him? I keep waiting for something like that to happen. Just try it, and it never comes.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, I
unfortunate.
think because he's given that standoffish attitude towards her, so she's like, why would I do that if he's,
Yeah,
not
I
this
mean,
way? So.
Well, she
nobody
says
likes to
she's
be
ready for
rejected.
sex, though.
Yeah, well, I know.
She makes like
He's
comments
not.
like
He
she's
said he's not.
Yeah,
I know,
so-
but like maybe you need to do something to encourage her. Kind of like what Bao's doing. Bao says,
Yeah,
"I'm not
that's
that
true,
kind of
that's
person,"
true.
but at least she's putting forth the effort.
But what if she has and she's been rejected?
I need to see that.
Do you?
Right. Yeah, he just shows some. Well, it's funny too, right? Because
Damn.
remember when the experts sent him those like sex type cards, right? And the sex dice and all that stuff. And Bao and Johnny were getting into it, but I didn't. Did they even send that to Brett and?
That's what I'm wondering. That's what they need.
Yeah,
they need
exactly.
like
They need
the
stuff like
sex
that.
The
therapist,
sex yoga and
like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't. Yeah, well, they did do the sex yoga, right? But that didn't work out well for them. So
Was that them?
That
With
was
the
them.
They
yeah.
need to
That
be
was it.
put on the spot and
Exactly.
like have that encouraged. Apparently,
yeah, no, it's
and if that
definitely-
doesn't work after that, it's like okay.
right?
And if that's happening and I haven't seen it, well, I can't analyze stuff I
can't
haven't
speak.
seen. But
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what
Can't speak to
I would think they need.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both good people, man.
Yeah.
They got good hearts, and it's a shame to see that it just ain't working out.
And like we feel for Brett and because of Baxter and all that stuff. It
oh,
just
yeah, no
sucks.
doubt.
So, and, yeah.
Yeah, on top of all the stuff she's doing with her relationship, and that just happens. It's like, man.
Because this is
Yeah.
the time maybe you want to lean on like your pet for support and
But then his
That
dog,
makes it probably
ate all the
hard.
flowers, man.
Oh man, poor dog. with
that
the
dog
yellow
like turned
nose.
itself yellow.
Oh, poor dog.
Man, do you show that dog's face, man? It like got a bag of Cheetos, man.
All right, let's move on to Jose and Rachel.
Love
Done
him.
with that guy.
I love him.
Done with that guy.
They're real. This is
They're
real
real. It's
relationships
real.
right
I'm
here.
out. I'm out.
This is real.
The real deal
I
right
mean,
here.
I mean, dude. I mean, they were doing so
No.
well, right? So well all up to this point, and then all it takes is that one wrong name,
Yeah.
She calls him Johnny, and of course he did. He didn't even think, oh yeah, maybe she did that because we hang out with them and all that. He just thinking, oh, she's calling me some other dude's name, F this,
Yeah, well, ever since that look on the boat when she says I've cheated, like that's stuck in his head, and then you're doing this, so
No.
you can tell that impacts him, and that's
Oh, big
something
time.
that he's concerned about.
Yeah, that's been in the back of his head this whole time. And you can definitely tell when this happens, right? Because it comes out.
Yeah, and I'm still on board with these two, though.
Nope, I'm out.
I'm on board.
Yeah. I am as well. I think they
I
can fix
am
it.
so mad at Rachel for not sticking to her guns and leaving.
Yeah, well, so
Like, that was the biggest red flag. They have been together less than a month, and the way he taught. Forget the locking out thing, even though that's a problem in itself.
that was a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem to me.
These guys seem to think that's the biggest
that
problem.
was the biggest problem.
The biggest problem is the way he talked to her. And she was sitting there thinking, you could see it in her face, like, is this really happening? Is this guy talking to me?
Yeah, but this is how fights go for some people. Like,
No.
they're both heated. They're saying things that they don't
And
really
there's someone
mean.
else there. I don't know who the other person is. If
Yeah, I
it's
don't know
her
who that
friend,
is. I
'cause
wonder
she went
that.
to lock her friend out,
Yeah,
so I
no.
think that's her friend.
Well,
I hope not.
one of them was the producer who was there during it, who was talking to them. So.
I am like, no, you're not going to talk to me that way. This early on in the relationship, if that's how he's talking to her,
Yeah, I mean the way he talked to her was messed up. I mean it was a big blow up. However, I don't
can
think
get
it's
past
I don't think you cannot get I don't think you can't get past it. I think they can get past it, right?
nope.
Now what now
Done.
now what I will say is, so he took her on this great date. They're having a great date together, and then like out of the blue, she's like, "Oh, well, just let me tell you something. Just kind of giving you a heads up here. Like during my summers, I don't work. So if I'm sitting at home by myself at the house, I might blow up on you some, and you just got to be careful about that." And it's kind of like, huh? That just kind of comes out of nowhere, right? She's telling him this stuff, and of course he's like, huh?
Yeah, she's like, prepare yourself. And he's like,
so,
what?
It shouldn't matter because she should be gone.
No,
I'm so done with Jose.
Jose's a good dude.
No, he is not a good dude.
He is a good guy
The way
overall.
he talked to her, and then when she said that I don't think I could be with someone who talks to me this way, he's like, there's boxes over there. Like, if you need to go.
Hey, he offered to help her pack. He's a gentleman.
No.
Yeah,
look, here's my
I checked out of
issue.
this relationship as soon as I
He
heard him
screwed
talk
up,
to her.
but
The
it didn't mean you take
locking
it
the
past.
door is a bigger issue for me because she has to come back home. She's got to get in,
Exactly.
and he knew like she's out for tonight at least. So if I did that, if I'm trying to teach her a lesson about the name or say how much
her
it's
lesson.
impacting me, then I'm coming to the door
teach
and
this girl a
unlocking it. But like if you don't even do that, like
that's
what
messed
the
up.
heck?
Well,
Yeah,
and
the whole
here's
argument is
another
messed
reason
up.
why I'm done. One, the way he talked to her. Two, the fact that he lied and he's like, well, I didn't realize.
Oh, he
It's
knew.
just a
He
habit.
knew
He
what he
did
was
that
doing.
on purpose.
Yeah, no
and
one's
he
buying
lied
that,
about
Jose.
it.
Nobody's buying. Even the guys aren't buying.
And when he's telling the story to the guys, he's leaving out all the
Of course.
the fact that he's yelling at her this way, and all the guys are like, "There's something else is to this, right? Like this
Yeah.
isn't."
Look.
He is full of himself. He thinks he has done. He still doesn't think he's done anything. wrong.
No.
She's pulling a Johnny. Like you make one mistake and you're out. Like
No.
the guy's a good dude and he messed
He's not
up.
a good dude.
Right. He finally admits, look, when they're having that conversation, she's like, I still haven't got the apology I wanted. He's finally like, look, I effed up. I get it. I effed up. I shouldn't have locked the door on you. I shouldn't have blown up on you. I made mistakes, but I'm trying to learn from that.
Well,
He's
I don't
like-
know if he said it quite.
You know.
I think he was just talking
did
and
say
she's
I
like,
effed
oh,
up.
that's an apology
Yeah.
at
No,
first.
he did
At
say
first.
he did say I effed
Not
up.
at first though.
Yeah. No, but he eventually got to that.
It
And that's
wasn't
what-
genuine.
So it was
No.
genuine. I think he was being genuine when everything finally settled and the dust settled on and they were really talking about it. I think he was.
He
being
knows he overreacted
genuine. Exactly. He does.
He
knows.
also then when they have that conversation at the baseball park where
Mm-hmm.
he brings up the bank accounts, I think he's giving into that as a way of making up
He's
for
compromising.
it. No, he's giving into it as a way of making up for it, and that is so
I think he's reflecting on like, what am I doing? What kind of
Exactly.
person am I?
Exactly. I think it's
I'm
what
not
he's
seeing
doing,
that.
too. I think he's reflecting. I'm like, yeah, okay, I screwed up there, and maybe having separate accounts isn't so bad. He's like, thinking, okay, I definitely.
How
gotta,
do I make this work?
I got to give, right? I've
Yep.
got to give as well. I've got to compromise.
So you're telling me the next time they have an argument or a conflict, he's not talking to her like that again? You
I think
that
he's
someone-
learned. He knows there's consequences if he does.
Right, exactly. And if he does talk to her like
He
that,
already
yeah,
lost
well,
the
that's a
bank
problem.
account.
What's he gonna have to lose next? He's gonna have to take that trip to Europe next.
Yeah, that was funny too. She's talking about going to Europe, and he's like, "I'd like to explore Texas," and she's like, "Thanks."
He's like, I used to live in San Antonio, and just go up
She's
there.
like, "That ain't freaking a trip." I like how he's trying to bring it back
That's
down.
right.
Like, how about we go to San Antonio instead
That's
of
right. So
Europe?
the next big blow up, he'll have to give in and do the trip to Europe.
And the
So-
sex therapist thing was really. She's like, "Tell me about the best parts of having sex or whatever."
and
they're
neither
like,
one, and they were both uncomfortable, right? They were both like,
What
"Yeah."
kind of therapy session is this?
We have sex. That's all you need to know.
She's like, okay, well, thumbs up. And they're like, yeah, thumbs up. It's like, all right.
She's like, "The best part, the intercourse," and they're like, Excuse you.
You mean the in and the out? Like, what are we talking about?
I thought that was funny. That's like pretty awkward for some people.
Oh
so.
yeah, especially when you're on camera, right? Doing this in front of the
And she's like,
in front of your family.
like she's getting into like what they're saying sometimes. I find that hilarious. So
yeah.
she's like, that's what we're talking
That's right.
about. So
I can't laugh at this.
she's a good.
But-
She,
I'm done with
she,
him.
I like her. Like she's a good addition to the show.
Oh yeah, I think so. But I mean, I think these two, if they can, if they can continue to compromise together, and he can learn, and he can actually learn from his mistakes, blowing up the way he did, and all that, I think they could work. I really do.
If they work, she's going to be miserable for the rest of her life.
I don't know.
He's got a lot going on for
I don't know
himself.
about that, man. I don't know about that.
And he treats her well.
Yeah, he does.
Nope.
We'll see.
She's even said that. She's like, "Wow, I got a guy who
Okay.
treats me super
Yeah,
well."
it's great. You know when men like beat their wives, do you know how well they treat them after they beat them? Really well.
That's getting into a whole nother thing.
Right.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
just saying. I'm not saying he's physical, or I'm not trying to make that accusation or anything like that. I'm just saying in those toxic relationships, there are highs and there are lows. And when after the lows, the highs are so good.
Probably,
Yeah.
but
She's
we-
going to experience
but-
a lot of lows.
But we haven't seen it get to that level on this show, right? There's been no physical violence.
I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying that it will ever escalate to that. But the way he talks to her and the way he treats her, there is going to be a lot of highs and lows, and she's going to be miserable about it. And she's going to lie to him to avoid it.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's going to create tension, barriers in their
I mean,
relationship.
what I will say, I mean, there was no even inclination that he was going to get physical. He just told her, "Fine, get out."
Yeah.
leave. He wasn't getting like super
I
violent or anything.
never said he
So-
would.
And then
And he doesn't need to get violent. The way he talked to her was enough to be done.
and then like when he's in a heated, and then you're saying, "What do you mean?" Like he's gonna double down on that, and that's
Right.
where I think he tries to come up with a good strategy. Like, look, when I'm hot, I need time to cool down, because he probably will say some things he's gonna regret.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean, that to
No,
me is a
and
real.
the thing
That's
is-
like a real like situation that many people experience. So.
Yeah, and we're not trying to justify his
Yeah.
freaking reaction.
Sounds like you are.
No, we're not. It's not. I'm not trying to justify his reaction. He was wrong for doing it, but it's not like you can't get past that, right? He can learn from that, and say, all right,
Can
okay,
he?
wow, I did screw up. I shouldn't
How old
react
is
that
he
way.
now? How old is he?
They're all 35, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So he's talking to a girl that he's been with for a month like that.
Yeah.
That disrespectfully at age 35. Nah, he's done it before. He'll do it again.
Well, we'll see.
Everything was roses really
Up
until
to
this
that
point.
yeah.
So
and it was there, and they both admitted, like, all right, we had 3 bad days, and now it's good again, right? So, yeah. Well, then the other thing here is when Jose, so Jose said he had a 4-year relationship with some woman, right? When they're asking each other, hey, have you ever been in love? And he's like, no, I haven't. She's like, you were with this woman for 4 years, and you didn't love this woman. And even I couldn't believe that. I'm like,
we
come on,
wasn't
bro.
sure, right?
Yeah. It's like, come on, bro. If you're with somebody for 4 years, you obviously love them, right? You're not going to be with them for 4 years and just be like,
Here's another red flag to me. He was
That's
with
a red flag. I'll
Yeah,
say.
that-
He's been
was-
with her for 4 years, and he just couldn't picture himself marrying her because he couldn't get past that she had kids.
right. Because he's like,
Why
I want
did you
everything.
waste her time for 4 years?
that was
and
messed
those
up.
poor kids that you're obviously in their life, in
Well,
that
we
relationship.
don't know
if you
how
knew
it
you were
went
never-
down or whatever, but
But if that was the reason, and he knew that reason early on, then yeah, he should have ended it a long time
But I
ago.
did not like how he said like, and it's unfortunate. I don't know if it's like any malice or whatever, but he couldn't like bond right with the kid or something. So
Yeah, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with him for not wanting to be with someone who has a kid. It's not for everybody. Obviously, I'm glad there are people out there who can do that because there are a lot of single parents out there.
Mm-hmm.
But to be with someone for 4 years and say you can't be with them because they have a kid, I just can't get it. That's 4 years.
Because he flat out said, "Look, I want to start my own family from
Yeah.
scratch. I couldn't do it." He's like, "I tried, and I just couldn't get past it."
And that coupled with the fact that you said you don't think you loved her, like.
Yeah, I mean,
so
there's
a lot
definitely
of
red
times,
flags.
like you would think, okay, well, you stuck around because you love her, and maybe you thought you could get past the kid thing, but you don't love her, and the kid thing. Like, why were you there?
and he was put on the spot, asked us maybe there was a lot more to it, but that's just what he said at the
I
time.
love
don't
how
know,
you guys
so.
defend this guy. Love it.
No,
we don't know.
I said it was red flags, right? I said it was
Yeah.
messed up. Like if he knew early on that he was like, "Look, I can't do this because she's got a kid," but he kept dragging it out, and yeah, it's really messed up.
This guy is standing in a yard with a giant red flag, waving it, and you guys are like, "Where is he? Where is he?"
Hey, he's got a credit score of 815. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
geez,
my
he's got to be
God.
doing okay in some regards.
Oh man. Well, how about so I mean we talked about all the couples now. How about the group get-togethers they had? Right, they had that barbecue at freaking Jose's house. You know, so Jose got to show off his digs a little bit. To everybody, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Where he talked a lot
That's right.
about himself because he's so into himself.
Yeah, and then after that, right after that was over, Rachel told Jose she loved him. Right, and then he said it back. So now we got those two are telling each other they love each other. Right. So. You know, that was before the blow up. You know, and then they all went out to dinner at some freaking restaurant. And this is again where Johnny just showed how much of a freaking clown he is. But at the same time, I mean, from what he said, right, when Bao's like, "Oh, I've been cooking gourmet meals every day," and
He's ripping all the roses.
Yeah, right, he's ripping up the roses.
She
And
did
Ryan's
not
like,
say-
"Hey, bro, those roses."
I cook gourmet meals every day. She says, I'm doing things every day. She's like, I
Yeah,
cook
that's true.
gourmet
That's true.
meals. I do this. I do that. So I went back because I watched that episode twice by accident. But yeah, she didn't say that she cooked them every day. But he is sitting there listening to what she says, and you can see the anger build
He's
on
shaking his head. Yeah.
And he's ripping apart that flour, man. Like,
He's in deep thought. Like,
Yeah. And then she says something, and he's like,
Well, and the thing is, as soon as she said that, that's all he focused on.
Yeah.
He didn't even listen to the rest of the stuff she said.
No.
It was just that one thing. But she ain't cooking gourmet meals every day. She's lying. She's freaking
Yeah.
lying. So. But
he
then
should have flipped the script and just said all good things.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I do like that when they asked him how he felt, he's like, I got a lot of thoughts. He's like, but I'm going to discuss them with my wife.
I did like that.
That was that was.
I'll
If you're going to say
Put it on
something
that.
negative, like better to say that than say something negative, I think.
Yeah. But then
Which he would have said,
Oh yeah,
obviously.
no doubt.
Because then he has to excuse himself to go to the bathroom, which obviously has happened before because Gil's like, what's up with your bladder?
Jose's probably like, nah, he's going to go
probably.
weep in the bathroom, bro.
Well,
And of course, Jose goes out to cook because those two are two of a kind.
oh yeah. Well, and the other issue too is that Johnny just keeps leaving. Right, keeps going back to his apartment, and it's like, dude, you can't do that. I mean, you're not. If you keep doing that, you're not even giving this the chance that you're supposed to be giving it. Right, like you got to work this shit out together. You can't be just going off to your apartment to have your little me time.
Well, and that's where I like Bao says, like, look, if this doesn't work out, I'll at least know that I gave it everything I could. And
exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it is.
But it's awkward when he's sitting there saying square peg, round hole and saying this isn't going to work to Jose, and then Bao walks out. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that was
I
awkward.
think our Uber's here. And he's just like, I just don't think it's going to work. And he just keeps talking.
Yeah.
She's not there.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah,
and
I
then they
get
get in the car together. Who
He
knows
opens
what
the
that-
door for her, so he's still
that was
somewhere.
nice.
Yeah.
Who knows what that car ride was like, though.
But
Wouldn't
they're
have been
probably just quiet the whole time, I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy, man. I mean, when you got your aunt and your uncle, your family telling you, bro, what the hell's wrong with you?
You're living in a fantasy world,
Yeah,
Johnny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've seen too many hentai cartoons in your time.
Yeah, these people, I mean, I think right now the only people that I really see making it are Myrla and Gil, which is
Yeah.
hilarious because the first 4 episodes you're thinking
They're not gonna make it.
they're not going to make it.
I think Jose and Michaela will.
Jose and Michaela?
Rachel, I keep calling her Michaela for some reason. But I think they'll make it, but I don't know if they'll make it in a long.
Yeah, I think if they don't have another major blow up and they continue to be lovey-dovey, that they'll both say yes, right? But yeah, again, they probably won't make it in the long run just because they're both, just pretty different from each other, right? As far as as far as pretty much every aspect of how they live their lives.
Yeah, and I will concede Jose is hard to live because he has his plan, and if anything deviates from that, it's kind of problematic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't
And
bother
she
me.
mentions
Unless he
this
can learn from that.
again that her life changes after this. She's going to go live in
With
his
his house.
house. Like, again, no. Mm-mm. He has the plan. He has the life. She's going to have to fit into it.
Yeah.
And eventually she's going to, if she
But he can
agrees
learn
to
from
it,
it. He can learn from it.
if she agrees to it and gets past whatever their differences are and how he talks to her and treats her, I'm telling you, she's going to resent him.
Maybe this is why the professionals
They're
chose
there.
him.
Yeah, that's right. And this is why the professionals are there to walk them through it, right?
Mhm. Okay.
So, all right, Johnny and Bao, yes or no?
No,
Yeah, no.
Poor Bao.
Bao deserves better.
She
Yeah,
does.
oh, totally,
He
man.
does not deserve
Johnny
her
needs
at
to
all.
pull his head out of his ass and grow up. I mean, period.
And I was Team Johnny initially, but
Oh yeah, no, same here.
Yeah.
Bao's amazing. Johnny,
Yeah,
what are
Bao
you
is an awesome
doing?
woman.
Maybe it'll click for him and a light bulb moment will go off and like, yeah, this girl is awesome. But
I would like to see Bao stand
I don't
up for
even know if
herself
she-
a little bit more and
I don't even
ask
know
for
if she
something
should-
she wants.
yeah, I don't even know if she should forgive him if he does have that moment at this point.
Oh yeah, no, I don't either.
I mean, it's all about what Johnny wants in the relationship. Like, what?
Yeah, he's
has
definitely
he
selfish.
given her
It's
any,
all about
like,
him.
she's
no
never
doubt
even
about it.
expressed what she needs out of the relationship.
Not too much.
Yeah.
She's too busy worried about what he needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It seems to all be about him. Like,
All right. Zach and Michaela.
nah.
Nah, I don't see it.
No, not
I'm
gonna
waiting for the blow up.
That blow up's gonna happen. We're gonna see it. And yeah, and it is done.
And it's
dude.
gonna be
that relationship ain't
amazing.
gonna work. Yeah. Yeah, it is gonna be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And of course, Gil and Myrla, I'm definitely yes on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. And if there's
Yeah,
any,
I don't see what could phase them at this point.
Yeah, and if there's any that could go the distance, like, it'd be this one, right? They could not only if they both say yes, but I could see them being married for a very long time.
I could
Agreed.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who did I just miss? Oh, of course, Brett and Ryan. That's a no. Ryan just not in. Ryan is out of it. He's shown that he's out of it. He just can't get himself into it.
The bad thing is he's not even given Brett the opportunity to
No, he's
like
not.
come around. Or,
Yeah, it's like, dude. I mean, you might like it. Just get physical with her, right? Go up there, give her
Yeah.
a kiss, try to have some sex, and maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe you'll be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I really do like this woman.
Yeah, I feel bad for Brett on this one because, like, I mean, you see it in the preview for the next one. She's like, if you don't want to be with me,
That's it.
just say it. Don't be with me. Like, just dragging it out. It's hard.
Well, they got to go through a show, I guess. So
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
could become
Hopefully they learn from
friends. Like, you see it in the ultimatum, like in the first season of the ultimatum when the one couple kind of got paired together, they became friends and like taught each other things to develop in relationships. Like they could be doing that. They could be like, look, this obviously isn't going to work, but like let's talk to each other about that. I mean, they're good friends. They get along.
Yeah, they're both good people. Yeah, absolutely.
So they could be at least working towards that.
yeah, I mean that would at the very least be nice to see. Like, hey, you were there for me, helping me get through Baxter and
Yeah.
these tough times.
Thanks for
and
telling me I
stuff.
need to clean my shit up.
Right.
The next guy ain't gonna probably even stick it out as long as I did. You need to clean your crap up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like I would like to see their friendship, have their relationship, realize it's not going to be a marriage, it's not going to be a romantic one. Let's seal our friendship.
Yeah, I agree. Because they definitely gonna work. All right,
Yeah.
well, there you have it, folks. You hear our takes on it. We got 2 yeses, one that might not last very long, one that probably will, and then 3 no's. So please let us know what you think about it. We'd love to talk to you about it and hear what you guys think as far as how these couples are going, and maybe you guys are seeing something we didn't. I don't know. But until next time, we will check you at our next review.
See ya.
See ya.